Awesome. Hi everyone, welcome back. So this is going to be a 60-minute all-level vinyasa flow, focusing on twisting those organs out, detox to retox, getting ready for all these happy hours we have coming up tonight. We're going to go ahead and get started in an easy seat on our mats. Right foot in front of left. Letting the shoulder blades melt away from the ears as the crown of your head lifts towards the ceiling. Can you get rid of that mental to-do list you have swarming around in your head? Can you be here in this moment? While yoga is very much a physical practice, it is a mental practice as well. Mostly mental, to be honest. So can you settle in, set your intention for this class? Maybe that's something or someone that inspires you, or maybe that's a simple memory that makes you smile. Whatever it is that brings joy or light into your thoughts, go ahead and think about that here. Option to leave the palms on top of the knees for more of a grounding practice. If you're ready to receive all this beautiful energy, go ahead and plant the palms facing the ceiling. And if you're ready for an introspective practice, place one palm on heart center and the other palm underneath the low belly. Feeling that prana, that breath or energy rolling in and out of your body. Not worrying about your breath here, just letting the natural cadence of your breath find you. I invite you to shut the eyes down here. And bring your awareness to your breath and your body. One big full breath, inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On the next inhale, we fill the belly, fill the lungs, let the collarbone expand, holding the breath at the top of the throat. And then opening the mouth, audible exhale, let that go. Ha! Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs, let the chest rise, holding the breath at the top of the throat. And then sealing the lips, letting the heat escape through both nostrils. Taking this opportunity to dial into your Ujjayi pranayama, or your victorious breath. Creating a slight constriction in the back of your throat as if you're fogging up a glass or a mirror. This victorious breath breathes fire into our bellies, into our bodies, always having the option to let it go by simply opening the mouth and exhaling through the mouth. Starting to blink the eyes open, maybe a slight gaze towards the nose, and then bringing both palms toward the knees. Starting to invite the neck to create little semicircles here. Rolling the chin down towards the chest, remembering that this is your practice. If I ever cue anything that does not call to you, no worries. This is your safe space to play and explore. Starting to be grander in this motion of your neck movement, switching the direction to counterclockwise. And then starting to invite the shoulder blades in, moving it up and down towards the ceiling. And then switching the direction. On the next inhale, we root to rise, reach all the way up. Gazes in between the thumbs, maybe taking a slight back bend here. And then exhale, folding over, leading with the chest, hinging down. Chest comes down towards the earth. Can you push against the earth while simultaneously sending the sits bones down towards your mat? Take one big inhale here. Exhale, walk the palms back up, placing the palms behind the tailbone. Fingertips are facing the glutes. We're pushing the earth away from us here, lifting the chest, gazes towards the ceiling. You should feel an opening in the tops of your shoulders, taking one big inhale here. Exhale, slowly release the glutes down towards the earth. Switching the direction, left foot comes in front of the right, grounding down, letting the shoulder blades melt away from the ears, and then starting to invite the neck, moving side to side. And then switching the direction to counterclockwise if that feels good. Starting to add the shoulders into the party, moving back and forth. Really just warming up the body here. And then the next inhale, we bring the palms together, this energy, sending the chest down towards the earth, finding that forward fold, pushing the earth away from you with the palms, and then sending your gaze down towards the shins. Seeing with every exhale if you can sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, walk the palms back up, and then place the palms behind the tailbone, fingertips are facing the glutes. Inhale, push the earth away from you with the palms, gazes towards the ceiling. You should feel an opening in the front of your shoulders. Inhale, big belly breath. Exhale, sink all the way down. Bringing both palms in front of you, finding a tabletop pose. In this tabletop pose, our wrists are directly underneath the shoulder blades, knees are underneath the hips. We untuck the toes, drop the belly low, gazes high to the sky, opening up the chest, cow pose. Exhale, can you ground down into the palms, round the spine, gazes to the navel, cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly low, all you cool cats and kittens, find this cow, open up the chest. And then exhale, plant the palms into the earth, round the spine, gazes to the navel. One more cat-cow, drop the belly low, open up the chest, send your heart towards the stars. Exhale, plant the palms, protract in the shoulder blades, really find your spine engaged, gazes towards the navel. Inhale, coming back to neutral. The left palm traces the right arm all the way up, opening up, finding an opening in the chest. Maybe you goalpost the arms here, finding a little heart opening. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, coming back through center, and then bringing the left palm underneath to thread the right. Here, your left shoulder blade is onto the earth, finding that shoulder stretch. If this is enough for you, you can always stay. If you're looking for a little bit more, go ahead and create a bind, bringing the right palm to clasp in between the thigh and hip. Maybe the right foot starts to lift, pointing the toe towards the earth to keep that hip squared. You're grounding down into the top portion of this left hand here, and to find a stronger stability in the core, activate. Inhale, big belly breath. Exhale, slowly bring the right foot down to the earth. Right palm comes in front of the face, finding that counter stretch. Left palm reaches high to the sky, finding an opening in the chest. And then exhale, back to neutral tabletop. One cat-cow to reset, drop the belly low, bolster your heart towards the stars. Exhale, ground down into the palms, round the spine, gazes to the navel. Inhale, neutral tabletop. The right fingers trace the left arm, opening up to the opposite side. Maybe goal posting in the arms, finding a heart opening here. Take one big belly breath in. Exhale, right palm threads underneath the left, finding that thread the needle. Once again, if this is enough for you, you can always stay engaging in that shoulder muscle. If you'd like a little bit more, left palm comes to clasp in between the thigh and hip. Maybe the left foot starts to raise high to the sky, pointing the toes towards the earth. Finding stability, grounding down to the top portion of the right hand. And the beauty about this pose is if you fall out, no worries, you're so close to the ground. Slow and controlled, left foot comes down to meet the earth. Left palm comes in front of the face, moving in for that counter stretch. Get that juiciness in. Take one big inhale. Exhale, back to neutral tabletop. One cat-cow to reset. Drop the belly low, gazes high. Exhale, ground down into the palms, round the spine. Finding fluidity in your movement here, back to neutral. And then paying attention to those architectural lines. Wrists directly underneath the shoulder blades, knees underneath the hips. We're tucking the toes, rising up to a lifted tabletop pose. Push the earth away from you slightly, protract in the shoulder blades, gazes in between the palms. You should feel the line of energy from palm to shoulder blade. Take a look at those knees, making sure that they still are, in fact, 2 inches lifted off the earth. We're holding here. If this is enough for you, you can always stay. If you're looking for a little bit more, run through some cat-cows with lifted knees. Yogis, you got this. We're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Ground down into those toes. Activate in the spine, slight protraction in the core. Take one big inhale here. 3, 2, 1. Lifting the heels and hips high to the sky, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Creating that inverted V shape with our body. Our feet are hips width distance apart. Our palms are a little bit wider than shoulder width distance. We're grounding down into the base knuckle of the index finger and the thumb, sending the chest or heart towards the thighs. Can you gaze in between the ankles to elongate the neck? Taking one expansive breath here. Inhale, fill the belly, lift the heels. Exhale, can you sink those heels a little bit closer towards the earth? Inhale, gazes in between the palms. We look, step, jump, hop, or float to the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift out of the Uttanasana, creating a number 7 with our spine. Our shoulder blades plug into the back wall as the crown of our head lifts forward, slightly tilting the chin down towards the chest. As if you have a favorite plate of yums on your back or maybe a glass of wine, no judgment. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up, reaching with intention, gazes in between the thumbs. Maybe you take a slight back bend here. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive, leading with the chest, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, high plank. Active listening in this high plank, we're pushing the earth away from you again, finding that slight protraction in the shoulders, gazes in between the palms. Slow and controlled, we're coming all the way down, tucking the elbows into the ribs and lowering down for that low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Holding here in this low plank, take one big belly breath. Exhale, push the earth away from you, back to high plank. Exhale, tuck the elbows into the ribs, lower down, low plank. Inhale, push the earth away from you, high plank. You got this, yogis. One more, tuck the elbows into the ribs, lower down, and then come all the way on to the belly here. Untucking the toes, finding Bhujangasana or low cobra. In this low cobra pose, can you push the shoelace portion of your feet into the earth? Maybe lifting the palms here, finding that strength in the back. Magnetizing your elbows towards one another, slightly tucking the chin down towards the earth. Maybe you take one big inhale here, lifting a little bit higher. Exhale, plant the palms towards the earth, tuck the toes, find that downward facing dog. Taking this opportunity to generously bend in both knees, walking the dog out. And then coming back to that neutral Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Gazes in between the palms, look, step, walk, jump, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift out of the Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up, reaching with intention, finding your back turn on. Gazes in between the palms, swan dive, leading with the chest, hinging at the hips, coming all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, you flow, you grow. High to low plank, Chaturanga checking. Make sure you tuck those elbows into the ribs and graze down to avoid any injuries from the elbow. Inhale, upward facing dog, planting the shoelace portion of the feet down towards the earth. Can you push the earth away from you, sending the shoulders away from the ears, and then slightly tucking the chin down. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, rolling over the toes, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. One more sun A to really get it juicy, get it moving. Gazes in between the palms. We look, step, jump, or hop to the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Honoring your breath here. Inhale, root to rise. Reach all the way up. Active listening, we're reaching for the left palm and then moving over towards the right side. Can you spiral your chest towards the ceiling? Take one big inhale here. Exhale, can you sink a little bit deeper? One more inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, back to neutral. Grabbing the right wrist this time, moving over towards the left side, grounding down into the right heel. Can you spiral your chest towards the ceiling? Take one big inhale here. Exhale, can you sink a little bit deeper? Inhale through center. Exhale, swan dive, leading with the chest hinging at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, high to low plank. Tuck the elbows into the ribs as you lower down. Upward facing dog, pull the chest through. Exhale, downward facing dog. In this downward facing dog, taking this moment to bend in both knees. And then taking this breath to reset, both heels lift high to the sky. Exhale, sink them deep into the earth. Both toes come together to touch at the back of your mat. And then inhale, right leg lifts high to the sky. Option to keep that leg pointed or find an inner rotation of the thighs, sending the toes towards the earth to square off the hips. Bending in this right knee and drawing big circles here. Getting juicy in that synovial fluid of this right hip. First moving clockwise and then switching the direction to counterclockwise. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, finding that engagement of the core, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, three-legged dog. Right knee to right elbow, make a connection, hold. Three-legged dog. Right knee to left elbow, cross body, hold. Inhale, three-legged dog. Right knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, plant the right foot in between the palms. We're keeping this left palm grounded and opening up for easy twist here. Option to drop this bottom knee if this is too much for you. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, creating balance on your mat. Inhaling, finding that twisted lunge. Can you take this breath, open up your wings a little bit wider, let the shoulder blades melt away from the ears. One more breath here, yogis. You got this. Inhale, big belly breath. Exhale, right palm comes behind you, left palm paints a rainbow towards the ceiling. And then bringing the left palm down, finding that easy twist. Take one breath in this easy twist. And then slow and controlled, bringing all the weight onto the left side, finding Vashisthasana, side plank. Maybe in this side plank you stay here, or maybe you up level by lifting that top leg all the way up. Pushing the earth away from you with this left palm. One more breath, yogis, you got this. Exhale, right palm comes down to the earth. Maybe that right foot stays lifted for a one-legged chaturanga. As you tuck the elbows into the ribs and lower down for that vinyasa. Upward facing dog, pull the chest through. Exhale, big toes come together to touch. Chest comes down towards the earth, finding your child's pose. Taking a moment here to come back to your breath, to come back to that intention. Why is it that you showed up on your mats today? One expansive breath here, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release. One more breath, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, walk the palms close to the body and then come back into your downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, creating that inverted V shape here. First, bringing the feet together for proper alignment and then left foot comes high to the sky, three-legged dog. Can you ground down evenly into both palms? Bending at the left knee and then starting to create these generous circles, first moving clockwise, and then switching the direction to counterclockwise. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, shoulders over wrists, hold. Inhale, three-legged dog. Left knee to left elbow, make a connection, hold. Three-legged dog. Left knee to right elbow, cross body hold. Three-legged dog. Left knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, plant the left foot in between the palms. Option to drop that back knee if you'd like, or opening up for that easy twist, left palm lifts high to the sky. Finding an opening in the chest, take one breath here. And then grounding down into the feet, using the core, finding that twisted lunge. We're creating a right angle with this left knee here. Can you open up your wings a little bit wider? One big inhale here, you got this. Exhale, release. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, left palm comes behind you, right palm paints a rainbow towards the ceiling. And then moving into that easy twist, left palm lifts. Slow and control, bringing all the weight onto the right side, finding Bashistasana side plank. Option to drop that bottom knee here towards the earth, or option to up level by lifting that leg high to the sky. Grounding down into this right palm, lifting up a little bit higher. Can you take one breath here? Exhale, left palm comes down to the earth. Maybe that left foot stays lifted for a one-legged chaturanga as you tuck the elbows into the ribs. Upward facing dog, pull the chest through. Exhale, big toes come together to touch, moving into Balasana, child's pose. Taking this breath as a reset. If your mind has wandered, no worries. Bring your awareness back to your intention and back to your breath. Taking one big inhale, collective as a community, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release. Inhale, finding that downward facing dog. Gaze is in between the palms. We look, step, jump, hop, or float to the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift out of the Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rib to rise, reach all the way up. Active listening, we're grounding down into our heels, finding our Utkatasana chair pose. In this Utkatasana chair pose, take a look at your alignment. If your knees surpass your toes, can you send that ass back? Find the natural curvature of the spine, slightly tuck the tailbone in and let the shoulder blades melt away from the ears. Taking one full breath here. Exhale, palms come down to heart center. Inhale, left elbow comes on the outside of the right thigh. Can you send your gaze behind the right shoulder? If this is enough for you, you can always say if you'd like to open up your wings, that's always an option. Taking one big inhale here, twisting. Exhale, heart, palms come back to heart center. Slow and controlled, we're bringing all the weight onto the right foot. And then lifting the left leg high to the sky, sending it all the way back. We're in a twisted crescent lunge. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, finding that warrior one pose, sending the fingers high, and then pivoting that back foot to about 45 degrees. That was a little bit of a funky transition, so I'm going to walk you through this warrior one. We're creating that right angle with this right leg. Our back foot is pivoted to 45 degrees, gaze is in between the palms, let the shoulder blades melt. If the quad is talking to you, take one big inhale here. Exhale, palms come behind us to clasp, lifting the chest high to the sky. And then surrendering that heart down, finding humble warrior. In this humble warrior, our forehead or crown of the head comes down towards the earth. Can you use your fists as steering agents to move and square off that hip? Take one big inhale here. Exhale, rising back up, warrior one. And then exhaling, pivoting that back foot, finding warrior two or Virabhadrasana 2 towards the left side. In this warrior two, our hips are squared towards the left. Our drishti or gaze is in between the right fingertips. Take one big belly breath here, inhale. And then exhale, straighten in that front leg. Straightening in the front leg, reaching for something you desire with this right palm, letting the quad rest. And then coming all the way down, Trikonasana triangle pose. In this triangle pose, your gaze is to the left fingertips. Try not to dump all the weight into this right palm. Maybe you push against the shin, opening the chest a little bit more. Taking one big inhale here. And then exhale, left palm comes down to the earth, either on the left or right side of the foot, whichever feels better. And then twisting open, finding that twisted Trikonasana. Maybe you have to shorten your stance in this pose, and that's totally okay. Honor your body and honor your breath. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, bringing the right palm down to the earth, and then moving back into that Trikonasana. Engaging in the core, root to rise, reach all the way up, reaching behind you. And then exhale, cartwheeling the palms to frame the right foot. Maybe shortening that stance a bit, finding a pyramid pose. So the front toe is pivoted towards the front, and then the back foot is at a 45-degree angle. We're getting juicy in this right hamstring here. So maybe you send the chest down towards the shin. Maybe you up level here by bringing both fingertips to face behind you on the mat. Bringing all the weight into this right foot, and then seeing if the left toes can slightly tink up, finding your flamingo pose. Remembering that this is your practice, so modify or up level however you see fit. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, plant the left foot down to the earth. Bringing the palms to frame the right foot, and then lifting the left heel back high to the sky, finding that standing split. Can you square off the hip here, pointing the left toes towards the earth? If handstand hops are in your practice, you're more than welcome to play. If you're with me, I'm bringing my right palm to hug my right calf, allowing me to send my forehead down towards this right shin. Take one more big inhale here, yogis. You got this. Exhale, plant the palms towards the earth. Left foot comes to meet the right. Grabbing opposite elbows, ragdoll pose. Let that breath go. Finding your ragdoll pose here. Slight bend in both knees. Invite your chest to kiss the thighs. Can you find a decompression in your neck and spine, letting gravity do its work here, swaying back and forth? Inhale, plant the palms towards the earth, halfway lift, keeping them grounded, find that flat back. Exhale, bring the feet all the way back, finding that high plank. Tucking the elbows in to finish your vinyasa, low plank. Upward facing dog, pull the chest through. Exhale, big toes come together to touch, finding your child's pose. Taking this opportunity to towel off. Maybe grabbing some water here. Maybe coming back to the intention that you set in the beginning of class. They say that yoga is the bridge between mind, body, and breath. Can we control our breath to control our minds? Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, let something go that no longer serves you. Inhale, walking the palms back up, finding Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And then generously bending in both knees to walk the dog out. Gaze is in between the palms. We look, step, jump, hop, or float to the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up, reaching with intention, gazes in between the palms. Taking one breath here, inhale. Finding a slight inner rotation of the toes and a gap in between the heels. Exhale, sinking down to Utkatasana, chair pose. Can you look at your alignment? If those knees surpass the toes, can you send that ass back? Find the natural curvature of the spine, gazes in between the palms as the shoulder blades melt down the spine. As if you're trying to rip your mat in two, really feel the outer glutes turn on. Inhale, big belly breath. Exhale, palms come into heart center. We're finding a twist here. Right elbow comes on the outside of the left thigh. Gaze is behind the left shoulder blade here, taking a look at those knees. If the left knee surpasses the right, can you bring them in line with one another? Option to open up your wings if you did it on the other side. And then inhale, coming back to neutral. Slow and controlled, bringing all the weight onto this left foot. And then stepping all the way back, finding that twisted crescent lunge. Inhale, rise up, warrior one, pivoting that back foot. And then committing to the bend in the front knee, Virabhadrasana 1. In this Virabhadrasana 1, let the shoulder blades mount away from the earth as the crown of your head lifts high. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, bring the palms behind you to clasp, lift the chest high to the sky. And then surrender the heart down, finding humble warrior. Taking this opportunity to find expansion in this breath, big belly breath, fill the belly. Maybe using this left fist here to square off the left hip by sending it back towards the wall. Inhale, rise up, warrior one, just for one moment through transition. And then pivoting that back leg, finding warrior two, generously bending in this front knee. We're creating a right angle here with this left knee. Our drishti or gaze is to the left fingertips and our hips are square towards the right side. Can you let the shoulder blades melt away from the ears? We're almost there. I know those quads are talking to you. Inhale, straightening in that left leg. And then if you have to, moving your stance a bit, reaching for something you desire all the way to the left. And then finding Trikonasana triangle pose. In this Trikonasana pose, try not to dump all the weight into this left palm. Maybe using a block here if that's in your practice, or maybe pushing against the shin, finding an opening in the chest. Gaze as to the right fingertips, take one big inhale here. Exhale, right palm comes down to the earth on either side, whichever feels better. If it's over towards the left side of the body, open up the chest, find a reverse Trikonasana. Feeling those organs, detox to retox, swiping them over towards the left side. Take one breath here. And then exhale, left palm comes down to the earth, finding Trikonasana. Inhale, using the core and obliques, rising all the way up, reverse Trikonasana. Exhale, pivoting and planting the palms towards the left foot. Pivoting this back foot, finding that pyramid pose. So our back foot is about 45 degrees. And then we're sending our chest down towards the earth for this pyramid pose. Getting juicy in this left hamstring. Can you inhale, halfway lift? Exhale, send the chest down towards the shin, finding a flat back, keeping the integrity of the spine. If this is enough for you, you can stay in this pyramid pose and find as many breaths as you need. If you're with me, I'm moving into flamingo pose, bringing both fingertips to face the back of the mat, sending my weight, sliding my palms towards this left foot, and then seeing if I can tink my left toes pointing up. Sending my gaze and chin down towards the left shin. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, release. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release the foot down, bringing the palms to frame this left foot. And then lifting the right toes high to the sky, finding that standing split. In this standing split, can you find an internal rotation of the hips and toes, sending the toes towards the earth? If handstand hops are in your practice, you're more than welcome to play. If you're with me, I'm bringing my left palm to hug my left shin. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, right palm meets the left, grab opposite elbows, ragdoll pose. Running through a few lion's breath here. That's when we inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, stick that tongue out, let that shit go. Ha! Beautiful breath, yogis. One more time. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, stick that tongue out, let something go. Bending in both knees, finding the chest to kiss the thighs. Rocking back and forth, finding a decompression in the neck and spine. Planting both palms towards the earth and then stepping back into your high plank. Option to skip your vinyasa, or you tuck the elbows into the ribs, lower down for Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog, pull the chest through. Exhale, bringing the knees in front of us and then palms into heart center here. Taking this opportunity to feel our capable beating hearts. Taking this moment to maybe towel off, grab some water, and come back to that intention that we set in the beginning of class. Remembering that change is inevitable, but growth in your life is optional. Can you choose to grow? Can you love yourself enough to create the environment in your life that is conducive to your well-being? Taking one breath full of gratitude, fill the belly, fill the lungs, let the collarbone expand. Exhale, release fear, release doubt, release any inhibitions that hinder you. One more breath, inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release. Coming back into that downward facing dog. Creating that inverted V shape here with your bodies. Both feet come together to touch at the back of your mat, and then right foot lifts high to the sky, three-legged dog. Drawing circles with this right knee, moving clockwise, and then switching the direction to counterclockwise. Inhale, three-legged dog, scorpion tail, right heel towards left glute. If that right armpit shoots up towards the ceiling, can you square it off towards your mat? Grounding down evenly into both palms. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, scorpion tailing that heel once again. And then grounding down into this left palm. If you're ready for that flip dog, reaching for something you desire with that right palm. Pushing the earth away from you with this left palm. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, right palm comes down to the earth. Right foot lifts up, three-legged dog. Right knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, shoulders over wrists. Three-legged dog. Right knee to right elbow. If EPK is in your practice and you'd like to fly, you're more than welcome to play. And then kneading back in a three-legged dog, right leg high to the sky. Right knee to left elbow, cross-body hold, sliding that right foot down, opening up for that wild thing. In this wild thing, can you push the earth away from you with this right palm? Lifting the chest, maybe giving me a little wave. And then slow and controlled, left palm comes down to the earth. 0 to 5 Chaturanga push-ups, tuck the elbows into the ribs and lower down. If these Chaturanga push-ups are not for you, no worries, you can always skip them. Meeting me back in a three-legged dog, right leg high to the sky. Right knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, plant the right foot in between the palms. We're pivoting that back leg to 45 degrees and then rising up for that warrior one. Using this warrior one as your active resting pose, control the breath, control the mind. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs with this breath. Exhale, release. Inhale, palms come down to heart center, and then grounding down into this right foot. We're launching off, finding that warrior three balancing pose. Keeping an up dog quality in our chest and a slight bend in the right knee. This slight bend will keep a strong foundation for you, making sure that you're active in this left foot. Dorsiflexing in the fin, maybe switching your arm variation to reach forward. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, we're landing into warrior two, generously bending in this right knee, letting the shoulder blades melt away from the earth. Take one big inhale here. Drishti or gaze is to the right fingertips. Exhale. Inhale, reach for something we desire, finding that peaceful warrior reaching behind you. And then exhale, straightening in both legs, finding Trikonasana, triangle pose. In this Trikonasana, can you inhale, lift the belly, fill the breath. Exhale, left palm comes down to the earth, onto the opposite side of the right foot. Opening up the chest, finding a reverse twist here. Take one big inhale here. And then exhale, spiraling the arms back to warrior two. And then spiraling the palms to frame this right foot. Sliding the right foot all the way back, finding a one-legged down dog. And then maybe tucking the elbows into the ribs, lowering down, upward facing dog to finish your vinyasa. Tuck those toes in. Exhale, finding your child's pose, bringing your forehead to the earth. Taking this opportunity to come back to that breath and to come back to that intention. We have one more side left before we start to slow the heart rate down. Can you be here fully on this left side? Can you actively tell your mind to give this left side your all? Finding the strength within ourselves. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, meeting back down in Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. In this downward facing dog, creating that inverted V shape with our bodies. Grounding down into the base knuckle of the index finger and the thumb. Both feet come together to touch at the back of your mat. And then inhale, left leg high to the sky. Drawing circles with this left knee, moving clockwise, really lubricating in this left hip. And then switching the direction to counterclockwise. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, scorpion tail, left heel towards right glute. If that left armpit shoots up towards the ceiling, can you square it off towards your mat? Slow and controlled, if you're ready, right palm grounds down into the earth, and then finding that flip dog, reaching for something you desire with the left palm. Maybe coming into full wheel if that's in your practice here. Slow and controlled, left palm comes down to the earth. Left foot lifts high to the sky, three-legged dog. Left knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in. Maybe you give your knee a little kiss. Three-legged dog. Left knee to left elbow. If EPK's in your practice and you'd like to fly, you're more than welcome. And then meeting me back in that three-legged dog. Try not to break anything in your house. Left knee to right elbow, cross body hold. Sliding the left foot down to the earth and then lifting up for that wild finger fallen triangle. In this wild thing, can you push this left palm into the earth and lift your chest a little bit higher? Take one full big inhale here. Exhale, right palm comes down to the earth. 0 to 5 Chaturanga push-ups. Tuck the elbows into the ribs and lower down. If you're here for that physical practice, take these push-ups. Maybe it's just one. Maybe you meet in that three-legged dog, left leg high to the sky. Left knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, plant the left foot in between the palms. We're pivoting that back foot and then rising up for Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Using this Warrior 1 as your active resting pose, find that breath, control the breath, control the mind. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, release. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, bring the palms into heart center. Grounding down into this left foot, rising all the way up, finding Virabhadrasana 3 or Warrior 3. In this Warrior 3, you have a slight bend in this left foot or left leg, to create a stronger foundation. Sending the chest high to the sky, finding an opening, dorsiflexing in this right fin. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, opening the palms, finding Warrior 2 towards the right side. Taking a moment to settle into this Warrior 2, take a breath, take your time. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, right palm comes behind you, left palm reaches behind you, finding that peaceful warrior. And then straightening in both legs, transitioning into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Trying not to dump all the weight into this left palm. Maybe you use your left fingers to push against the shin. Gazes to the right fingertips here. Inhale. Exhale, right fingertips come on the outside of the left foot. And then opening up to that twisted Trikonasana, sending your gaze towards the left fingers. Taking one expansive breath through this left lung. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, pivoting the palms, finding Warrior 2 once again. And then cartwheeling the palms here to frame this left foot. Bringing the left foot all the way back, maybe keeping it lifted for that one-legged Chaturanga. Coming into that high plank. Tucking the elbows into the ribs, lowering all the way down. Upward facing dog, pull the chest through. Exhale, big toes come together to touch. Balasana, child's pose. Starting to slow the heart rate down here, yogis. You got this. Taking a full few breaths, coming back to that intention. Asking yourself, what is the reason that you showed up on your mat today? Inhale, one more breath in this child's pose. Exhale, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Coming back into that neutral tabletop, running through a few cat-cows just to reset the spine. Drop the belly low, gaze as high to the sky, bolster your heart towards the stars. Exhale, push the earth away from you, round the spine, gaze is to the navel. Inhale, dropping down towards the glutes, and then bringing the feet out in front of us. So here we are in a staff pose, creating that L shape with our bodies. We're so active in both feet here, dorsiflexing the fins, pointing the toes towards the shins. Your heels should magically lift off the earth here. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up. Exhale, Paschimottanasana, forward fold. In this Paschimottanasana, I want you to think chest to thigh versus nose to knee. So instead of rounding the back, we're keeping an up dog quality in the chest, finding the integrity of that spine. So maybe that looks like this today with a little bit of a bent knee, and that's totally okay. This is your practice, your body, so be kind to it. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, right heel comes in towards the body. Bringing the right palm behind us to create a little kickstand behind our tailbone. And then the left palm lifts high to the sky, finding a twist, bringing the left elbow on the outside of the right thigh. Sending the gaze towards the left shoulder blades. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, release. Can you twist from your core versus twisting from the neck? Taking one big inhale to lengthen in the spine. And then exhale, can you twist a little bit deeper? One more breath here, yogis, you got this. Exhale, coming back through center. One Paschimottanasana to reset, inhale, root to rise. Exhale, reach forward, swan dive, leading with the chest flat back, maybe grabbing those toes. Maybe planting the palms towards the earth. Taking one breath here. And then exhale, walking the palms back to that L shape. Left knee comes in towards the chest. Left arm comes behind you to create a little kickstand behind the tailbone. Right palm gives a little wave. And then bringing the right elbow on the outside of the left thigh, sending your gaze behind the left shoulder blade. In this twist, can you inhale, lengthen through the spine, lift the chin. And then exhale, twist a little bit deeper, sending the gaze even farther behind the left shoulder. Taking one more inhale here, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release through center. Shaking out those legs. And then bringing both heels into the body, giving yourself a little squeeze on your mats. Bringing the palms to frame or to grab the tops of the shin. We're going to run through a few cat-cows here just to open up the spine and reset. Inhale, lift the chest and chin high. Exhale, round the spine, protract in the shoulder blades, gaze is to the navel. Inhale, look up, bring and bolster your heart high. Exhale, gaze to the navel, round the spine, modified cat pose. Inhale, bringing this imaginary beach ball out in front of us. And then slow and controlled, taking your absolute time. Seeing how slow you can move, activating the core for one final core exercise. Remembering to breathe here. Remembering to give yourself a smile. Maybe counting all 33 vertebrae on the way down. And then when you're ready, bringing the shoulder blades to meet down towards the earth, and then bringing both heels to lift high to the sky, creating that L shape. We're going to run through pigeon on our backs today. So in pigeon pose, our right ankle comes over the left thigh. We're creating a figure 4 here. Dorsiflexing in both fins, being super active in both legs. Grabbing underneath this left thigh, avoiding the knee joint, and then sending the left knee towards the face. Can you simultaneously use this right elbow to push the left thigh away from you, finding a deeper hip stretch? Letting the shoulder blades melt away from the ears, melting down into the earth. Seeing with every exhale if you can push the right thigh a little bit more away from you. You should feel a nice hip stretch here. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, release. Finding the comfortability in the uncomfortability of this pose. We hold a lot of emotion in our hips. So what can you let go? One more breath here, yogis. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, back to an L shape, maybe shaking out those legs. Setting up for pigeon on the left side. Left ankle comes in front of the right thigh, creating that figure 4. And then grasping underneath the right thigh, avoiding the knee joint. Bending in this right knee, sending the knee towards the face while simultaneously pushing this left thigh away from you. Remember that we're dorsiflexing in both fins, staying super active, finding that hip stretch. You might notice that both hips feel very different because both sides of our body are very different. So just take in consideration that fact and see if you can melt the shoulders away from the ears, gluing down towards the earth. Pushing this left thigh away from you while bringing this right knee closer towards the face. Flirting with pleasure and pain, but remembering when enough is enough and to stop. Inhale, take one breath here. Exhale, what can you let go and release? One more breath in this pigeon pose. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs, maybe bring the right knee closer towards the face. And then exhale, release. Bringing both feet to the earth, setting up for one back bend of your choice. I'm going to walk us through bridge pose here. So in bridge pose, we're bringing our fingertips to slightly graze the tips of our heels. Grounding down evenly into all 4 corners of both feet. Maybe keeping the palms onto the earth and then lifting up, sending the hips all the way to the sky. Can you ground down into both feet here, lifting the chest a little bit higher? Maybe finding a clasp in between or behind the back, and then shimmying the shoulders to lift yourself up a little bit higher. We're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Can you ground down into the feet? Actively press in both legs, but don't clench the butt cheeks. 3, 2, 1. Coming all the way down, windshield wiping the knees from side to side. And then bringing both knees into the chest to give yourself the squeeze. Right knee comes in towards the face, left foot drops down towards the earth. Setting up for a final supine twist, right knee comes cross body. And then palms come out to a T. Maybe negotiating some space with your plant babies, maybe goalposting the arms. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, maybe this left palm comes and helps the right knee come closer to the earth while grounding both shoulder blades into the mat. Inhale through center. Bringing both knees into the chest, finding that center line squeeze. Exhale, right foot comes down to the earth. And right knee comes cross-body, finding that supine twist on the opposite side. Left palms or both palms come out to a T. Seeing if you can ground both shoulder blades into the earth while sending the left knee towards your mat. Take one big inhale here. Exhale, coming back through center. Taking one final pose. If you're craving a pose that I did not call for, you're more than welcome to find an inversion of your choice. For me, I'm going to choose legs up the wall here by simply bringing my feet high to the sky, letting all the blood flow from my ankles, toes, and calves all the way down towards those hips. Maybe I find a happy baby here. Choosing whatever feels good. Who's to tell you what makes your baby happy? And then when you're ready, taking up as much space as you need, moving any blocks, any water bottles, any negative thoughts out of the way to find your final resting pose. This is what we worked for, this moment of bliss. Can we block out everything that's going on in this present moment and be here on your mats with me? Taking one more collective breath, thinking about that intention. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs, let the collarbone expand. Exhale, releasing. Shavasana. In this Shavasana, can you take a full body scan, letting the crown of your head relax, letting the eyebrows and in between the brows soften, softening in the lips, maybe taking the tongue and slightly sliding it over the tops of your teeth, and then letting the jaw release. Softening in the shoulder blades, the sternum, and the chest. Relaxing in the ribs, in the stomach, in the hips. Softening through your pelvic floor, your thighs, your knees and calves. And then relaxing in the ankles, toes, and body. Slowly starting to bring awareness back to the body, we wiggle our fingers. Inviting life back into our toes, we give those a little wiggle. And as if you're waking up for the very first time this morning, reaching behind you for that good morning stretch. And then exhale, bringing both knees into the chest, giving yourself a squeeze, thanking yourself for showing up on your mats today for some self-love and some self-care. Choosing either the right side or the left side to fall onto a fetal position, using your bicep as a pillow. Your greatest magic will come to you in times of darkness, when you have no choice but to trust your own power. The magic that you have inside, brewing inside you, will come to you in the time of darkness that's much most needed. When you have no choice but to trust in your own power, pushing the earth away from you, rising up to a seated position, facing any which way you desire. Gathering all this beautiful energy we've created as a community, our palms come down to heart center. The perfectly imperfect student in me bows, honors, and respects the teachers in all of you. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice.